As Congress continues to debate how much to spend on climate in the latest budget bill, environmental activists are calling on the White House to intervene and stop the completion of the Line 3 pipeline, which runs from North Dakota to Wisconsin, crisscrosses multiple rivers, including a section of the Mississippi River in Minnesota. Our Mary Alice Parks went to Minnesota for a closer look at the fight over this pipeline, and she's got this closer look.
These are the headwaters of the mighty Mississippi, wetlands that feed into the longest river in the United States. From these streams, an economic engine and a life source providing fresh drinking water to an estimated 18 million people. And it is in part the fragility and significance of this land that has made the Line 3 pipeline project that crisscrosses these headwaters so controversial.
Protect the water, protect the trees.
Those opposed say the risks are unacceptable. Protests now spreading from coast to coast, from Hollywood to Capitol Hill. This pipeline project began in 2014. If completed and fully operational, the pipeline will be able to carry 760,000 barrels of Canadian oil a day through North Dakota to Wisconsin, with 337 miles in Minnesota. Members of the Red Lake Nation say it's a question of their rights to their land. The construction alone, they claim, has already had an impact, and a spill would be devastating.
It's some of the most pristine land in our entire United States. It's one of our national treasures, the headwaters of our Mississippi, and they chose to put this pipeline directly through those headwaters.
The Red Lake Nation has joined the White Earth Band of the Ojibwe tribe, Honor the Earth, the Sierra Club, and others in a number of lawsuits over the years trying to stop the project. But federally, the Army Corps of Engineers has greenlit it. The Minnesota courts so far have sided with Enbridge, the energy company, and the state in its permitting process. A state judge writing last June, with an existing deteriorating pipeline carrying crude oil through Minnesota, there was no option without environmental consequences. And there's no crystal ball to forecast demand for crude oil in this ever-changing environment. The construction started as a replacement project. Enbridge was instructed by the EPA and the Department of Justice in 2017 to replace old pipes. The company says the new pipes are engineered to be safer.
This has been a 6-year regulatory, legal, science-based process where everything's been tested.
Opponents push back on that argument. After all, now a third of the route will be brand new. Just this week, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources fined Enbridge over $3 million for digging deeper in some areas than their permits allowed. According to the agency, the violations released millions of gallons of groundwater while the state is struggling with a drought. Those still fighting in court are holding out hope that the federal government might intervene.
I support Biden. I support his agenda. For whatever reason, when it comes to Enbridge, when it comes to Line 3, they're going the wrong direction.
Minneapolis Representative Ilhan Omar has written repeatedly to the White House, too, demanding answers. She even brought her colleagues to the area to join the protests. I sat down with them, 4 members of the so-called squad.
The state Supreme Court let the certification for the pipeline stand. So are you out of time?
We are running out of time, which is why we're asking the president to intervene. This is the last hope that the water protectors have in stopping this pipeline.
And Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had planned to join her colleagues but canceled her trip last minute after devastating storms hit New York.
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez was planning to be here as well. She's not because of the devastating floods in New York. She wrote that this is even more reason for the Biden White House, as she put it, to stop building fossil fuel infrastructure. Is it absolute, though, for you that there should be zero fossil fuel infrastructure developed?
We have other alternatives, and it's time for our country to move towards that direction.
There is today still a strong global demand for oil, but scientists like Heidi Roop say that the oil intended for this pipeline is one of the dirtiest. She tells us that burning all of the oil this pipeline could transport could make it nearly impossible for the president to meet his own goals for reducing emissions.
It translates roughly into around 38 million, the equivalent of 38 million cars on the road every year, or around 45 coal-fired power plants burning every year.
45?
Yeah, 45 coal-powered power plants, yes.
Enbridge, though, says the country can't just turn off all fossil fuels. Until there are enough cleaner alternatives, projects like Line 3 are still needed.
We can't push a button. We can't say, okay, we're going to stop what we're going to do today, and then all of a sudden, sorry, you don't get heat this year.
We're at a turning point. We need a wake-up call. Our governments need to wake up and look at what's going on. And if we don't do something drastic to change the way that things have been going, we're going to never turn the tide.
Enbridge says the Line 3 pipeline should be operational this fall. But these larger questions about climate change and the future of energy will stretch well beyond the 2,300 miles of Old Man River to the entire globe.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.